Hi everybody, my name is Megan Dusky and this is my AEP 803 Me in Action Research presentation. A little bit about me is I am 27 years old. My husband and I live in north central Kansas where we farm and ranch. We raise cattle and pigs. I teach second grade at Rock Hills Elementary School and I graduated from K-State in 2016 with my bachelor's in elementary education. My hobbies, I love to be outside on the farm with my husband and I enjoy reading, baking, and taking our dog Dixie, who is pictured here, for a walk. I love to listen to true crime podcasts and audiobooks. So this is my 6th year of teaching, and my first year I was the Reading and Math MTSS coordinator for pre-K through 4th grade at Northern Valley Elementary. And for the last 5 years, I have been teaching 2nd grade. 2 of those years were at Northern Valley, and then the last 3 years have been here at Rock Hills. I also coach high school volleyball here at Rock Hills, and this is my 6th year of coaching. Our school is currently adjusting to a full-time principal at the elementary school, and I just thought that that was an interesting thing to note, and I get a little bit more into that later on. So what is action research? Action research is both practical and theoretical. It is practical because it involves making a change to practice, and it is theoretical because it is informed by theory and it can generate new insights. It is created with the concern for change and improvement. Because action research is through your own practice and it should benefit you and your academic community, it is often viewed as small scale because the effects are within your group. What is the purpose of action research? Teachers are to design, implement, and analyze the project to determine the impact among learners. It lets us put our focus on growth and positivity, not focus on what is lacking in our classroom. Action research encourages teachers to ask questions, inquire about individual research, and discuss their research and findings with other teachers. A collaborative culture is important. It can be used for problem solving and brainstorming ideas to support students. What are the 4 types of action research? Individual teacher, collaborative, school-wide, and district. Individual teacher research is done for a purpose and with a process. The teacher poses the question focused on change in their classroom. It can be anything from classroom management to teaching students what we refer to as soft skills. Collaborative action research is done with a team of teachers. However, it could focus on a single classroom or a common problem that is happening in several classrooms. School-wide action research is when the school faculty decides on a problem of interest. They gather their data, and then they use that data from outside sources, such as other schools, districts, and professional literature. It's all provided to the faculty, and as a staff, they decide on their action steps. District-wide action research involves the entire school district. It also involves Board of Education members and the community or communities that are part of the school district. What is the goal of action research? Action research provides the opportunity to have teachers ask themselves questions about their classroom and student learning. Action research can help teachers become more effective in their teaching methods. It can increase their understanding of their own classroom. It holds the teacher accountable and offers continued professional development. When teachers research methods that work and are proven to increase student engagement, it will improve the student learning outcomes. What are the main steps of action research? Number 1, identify and envision. Identify what your goal is and envision your success. Thinking that you will succeed is half the battle. Because action research focuses on growth and positivity, it is important that you are looking at it from a standpoint that has growth and positivity. Step 2, develop your plan. How will you be successful and what do you need to have prepared? Step 3, collect data. What methods will you use and who will help you? Step 4, analyze and form conclusions. Take a look at your data. What does it show? What is consistent in your data and what is it telling you? Step 5, modify. Make the changes your data supports. Did it change your outcome? Are you seeing growth? Step 6, report. Report your findings. Share them with a colleague, your students if it's appropriate, your principal, and who knows, you could inspire the next educator to conduct action research and be successful within their classroom. What is the difference between action research and traditional research? Action research is specific research done by the teacher, for the students, with a direct impact on the teacher's classroom. It is modified and adapted several times before the outcome is revealed. Traditional research is broad. It is not from a specific teacher or classroom. It is not adapted and reformed. It is simply produced and recorded. What are the common problems associated with action research? Teacher knowledge of incorporating action research. They find themselves thinking when, how, where do I start? What if I go out of order? Do I have a mentor to help me conduct research to the best of my ability? Time. As we all know, teachers are already stretched very thin trying to keep up with the daily demands of teaching, especially during a pandemic where several teachers are still teaching both students who are in person and students who are remote. Where do I find the time to develop a plan, collect the data, review, revise, and report? How can I differentiate instruction and conduct action research all in the same day? Resources. How will my data be collected, and where will I find someone who can sit in and observe my class and collect the data? What if the changes I want to make have to deal with flexible seating? Where will I get the funds to make my action research plan a reality? Guidance. As we all know, teaching is one of the only professions where we share extensively what successes we've had, and we will give you the tools to this same project, lesson, or craft because it was really that good. As teachers, we are creatures of habit when it comes to wanting someone who will guide us through the murky waters of uncertainty. Action waters being that murky water. Conducting action research is a little bit scary when you think about it as a whole instead of breaking it down into the little steps that it will take for success. Sometimes we just need the gentle push from somebody holding us accountable to make sure that we can push through and find what we need, even if we don't think that there's a difference that's going to be made. My current teaching practice evaluation. I should conduct an action research project on the effectiveness of small group centers during our 90 minutes of ELA. We are supposed to have 45 minutes of small group center time, and here I have attached a picture of what I show my students during each time we rotate. My questions are they really effective, and what about them makes them effective? What activities or projects are the best to keep students engaged during their center time and make sure they are able to do the skill effectively and appropriately? Why should I add action research to my professional development? Because it will improve my students' experiences. They will have increased engagement and they get to take ownership of their own learning by becoming part of my action research. Action research improves teacher performance by increasing the knowledge of best practices, increasing collaboration among colleagues, principals, and possibly students. Teachers get to be a part of research methods and they get the chance to assess their own values and beliefs about the classroom. So my critique. Personally, I don't remember talking about action research prior to this course, so this has definitely been an eye-opener about what I should be doing as an educator and how I can perform action research inside my classroom. I honestly think that I do this almost daily, but on a very small scale. What's the best way to have students get ready for the end of day? Or the best way to get their agendas checked, milk count and lunch count turned in, and bus notes all onto our document by 8:30 in the morning? I've just never laid it out and collected all the data. I can just say, okay, plan A didn't work, time to try the next thing. Professionally, I do think that our district could do a better job of implementing action research. We have had a lot of administration changes since I came aboard in 2019, and it's hard to start an action research project when your principal is different every year or every semester. It is difficult to get all teachers on the same boat when our assignments and duties are continuously changing. We spend most of our time just trying to keep our heads above water versus looking at our classrooms and seeing how we can improve. So a little bit more about Rock Hills and action research. My first year at Rock Hills, we attempted to do a PLC/action research project over the best math instruction, curriculum, and enrichment. It started with professional literature about what great math instruction looked like and why, what we should be looking for in our curriculums and why. Due to COVID-19 shortening our year and our principal taking another job out of district, we never made it past the professional literature and on to the next steps. We are currently not engaged in an action research project. Course learning outcomes. When you read through the course learning outcomes, they say things like lead improvement processes, what we should be striving for in our classrooms, like high quality practices, teaching technology-rich environments that uses the tech appropriately, supporting all students, equitable academics, and having culturally responsive classrooms. And having supportive data and collaboratively evaluate the school's curriculum. What the learning outcomes are like is pretty much like the trifecta. What every classroom, teacher, building, and district should strive for. To be highly effective in all areas, but especially when it concerns student learning and the best practices. By completing this assignment, it has opened my eyes to how much more there is to be done and how I can take research into my own hands and make our classroom a better place for all, but also how I can learn about my practices and students and classroom by conducting action research. Course learning outcome correlation. If you look at standards NS 1.1 and NS 4.1 through 4.4, these standards pertain directly to this course and project because as future leaders, we need to be able to collaboratively evaluate, develop, and communicate a school's mission. As teachers in the classroom, we need to be able to lead by example. It is imperative that we understand and can accurately demonstrate action research to improve teaching methods, student programs, data-informed instructional improvement, and assessment practices in a systematic manner. This is relative to me because continuously growing as an educator is my job. It is also our job as teachers to lead by example, but not just for our students, for new teachers and the experienced ones. My reflection from this assignment is that I am aware of what action research is, and I am able to develop an action research project and work to complete it thoroughly and effectively. And this slide here is my resources. Thank you very much.